untuk mendapat kualitas hidup yang sama. Dengan 56% penduduk berada di satu pulau, 44% penduduk lainnya memiliki keterbatasan akses. Kita percaya bahwa akses untuk meningkatkan diri harus merata. Dari kesenjangan ini, Kumpul hadir dengan visi untuk memberikan akses yang lebih merata untuk pemberdayaan kewirausahaan di seluruh Indonesia. Dengan jejaring penggerak ekosistem yang luas, kami memiliki program-program inovatif yang bisa meningkatkan skill dan network untuk mendukung entrepreneurs yang didistribusikan melalui lebih dari 70 hubs dan community partners kami yang tersebar di puluhan kota di Indonesia.
Kumpul telah mengedukasi kami untuk menjadi ekosistem builder yang terbaik, serta exposure dan akses ke program-program nasional.
Lebih dari 1.200 startup dan 400 kesempatan kerja telah terbentuk melalui program-program Kumpul sebagai bukti nyata kami dalam pemberdayaan ekosistem kewirausahaan.
Helping us meeting the right mentors, the right network, and the right activities or programs. So thank you Kumpul and hoping to join your next programs and activities.
Tidak hanya berhenti di situ, Kumpul juga turut membantu para talenta dan pelaku bisnis untuk semakin meningkatkan kualitas mereka melalui jaringan mentor kami.
Partnering with Kumpul is one of the most effective ways for VC to be directly connected with the local startup ecosystem.
Kumpul yakin, bersama kita bisa memberikan impact lebih besar bagi entrepreneurs dan menjadikan Indonesia yang lebih berdaya.
The Archipelagic and Island States Forum is a platform designed to facilitate 47 archipelagic and island nations to collaborate and cooperate in addressing common challenges in 4 thematic areas: climate change mitigation and adaptation, blue economy, marine plastic debris, and good maritime governance. In 2017, the idea to establish the multinational cooperation framework among the archipelagic and island states was first iterated during the UN Ocean Conference in New York. In November 2018, Indonesia hosted the first ministerial meeting with 21 archipelagic and island states. The Archipelagic and Island States Forum was established by Manado Joint Declaration. In the following year, the second ministerial meeting adopted the final outcome with 25 AIS participating countries. To achieve our vision, we focus on 4 objectives which we translate into our programs. Create an open, innovative, and engaging forum. Provide a space to share and implement innovative and tangible programs. Promote collaborative efforts among stakeholders. And create opportunity through the blue economy. Ideation, implementation, and evaluation are the core elements to our solution framework in addressing the problems. In 2020, AIS Forum launched programs to drive innovation, which are AIS Joint Research, a collaborative applied research program affiliated with academic institutions in AIS countries with various topics related to the 4 areas of collaboration. The Innovator Scholarship Program, a fully funded exchange program for talented individuals from AIS participating countries who can demonstrate exceptional leadership quality and creative mind, and AIS Innovation Challenge to find innovative ideas and breakthroughs that can help societies and businesses to be more resilient and adaptive during crisis situations. AIS Forum also launched AIS Blue Startup Hub, a platform to connect marine-focused startup in 47 archipelagic and island states across the globe. AIS Blue Startup Hub Mentoring Program was launched with 18 participating startups from 6 countries. As an effort to realize the smart, innovative solutions, AIS Forum also engaged with public audiences through online events in a form of trainings, workshops, talk shows, and discussions with various topics and stakeholders across AIS participating countries, In light of COVID-19 pandemic, it is important for archipelagic and island states to have a resilient economy. Therefore, AIS Forum Secretariat introduces programs which focuses on blue economy. As a form of its commitment, AIS Forum developed Blue Economy Development Index, or BEDI. This index will be used as a tracking tool to determine the current use of coastal and marine resources. And it can be used as a tool to meet the Sustainable Development Goals. Blue Financing Framework, or BFF, which provides a guidance for governments, financial institutions, philanthropists, and donors to align their investments with the blue economy principles and allow them to select a project to be financed in the blue economy sectors. Smart and innovative solution programs, such as sharing knowledge sessions with experts and representatives from AIS participating countries. Plankton, which was a competition to raise awareness in reducing marine plastic debris. Impact pitching, which connects startups, small and medium-sized enterprises, potential investors, and growth enablers to gain partnership. And Ending Plastic Pollution Innovation Challenge, which was a collaboration with Marine Plastic Debris Project from UNDP Indonesia to address marine plastic pollution in Southeast Asia. Many solutions to challenges that affect AIS participating countries in 4 main thematic areas and SDG 14 goals are produced through collaboration programs. These programs will explore opportunities through innovation and experiment that benefits on a local, regional, and international scale through sharing knowledge and experiences between AIS participating countries.
Semua masyarakat Indonesia berhak untuk mendapat kualitas hidup yang sama. Dengan 56% penduduk berada di satu pulau, 44% penduduk lainnya memiliki keterbatasan akses. Kita percaya bahwa akses untuk meningkatkan diri harus merata. Dari kesenjangan ini, Kumpul hadir dengan visi untuk memberikan akses yang lebih merata untuk pemberdayaan kewirausahaan di seluruh Indonesia. Dengan jejaring penggerak ekosistem yang luas, kami memiliki program-program inovatif yang bisa meningkatkan skill dan network untuk mendukung entrepreneurs yang didistribusikan melalui lebih dari 70 hubs dan community partners kami yang tersebar di puluhan kota di Indonesia.
Kumpul telah mengedukasi kami untuk menjadi ekosistem builder yang terbaik, serta exposure dan akses ke program-program nasional.
Lebih dari 1.200 startup dan 400 kesempatan kerja telah terbentuk melalui program-program Kumpul sebagai bukti nyata kami dalam pemberdayaan ekosistem kewirausahaan.
Helping us meeting the right mentors, the right network, and the right activities or programs. So thank you Kumpul and hoping to join your next programs and activities.
Tidak hanya berhenti di situ, Kumpul juga turut membantu para talenta dan pelaku bisnis untuk semakin meningkatkan kualitas mereka melalui jaringan mentor kami.
Partnering with Kumpul is one of the most effective ways for VC to be directly connected with the local startup ecosystem.
Kumpul yakin, bersama kita bisa memberikan impact lebih besar bagi entrepreneurs dan menjadikan Indonesia yang lebih berdaya.
So, hello everyone and welcome. Good afternoon. So we are here today in Connect 2 session, which is a part of Industri Insight by Kumpul program. And today we will have a closer look into sustainability topic, which is how we can achieve a sustainable future for Indonesia through urban solutions, sustainability, and energy startups. So my name is Riani, and I am a program director at Social Innovation Acceleration Program, or we can call them SIAP, and I will serve as your MC today. So again, welcome everyone, and thank you for joining us today. So we are here today to attend Industry Insight by Kumpul, which is a panel discussion between key players in sustainability industry with meaningful insight that can lead to a new business opportunities. So we hope that it's not going to be an ordinary industry insight, which in the session, you will receive the best knowledge, practical tips and tricks to run a sustainability startup with more impact, as well as connect and share your ideas and get the opportunity through our session with the credible panelists. For a little bit background, when we are talking about sustainability startups, we are hoping to get a closer look in the renewable energy industry, waste management, food, water, zero waste fashion, and goods, and another sectors that is contributing into the sustainable industry. So before we start, I would like to say thank you to our program partners, which is Kementerian Energi dan Sumber Daya Mineral Republik Indonesia, Medco Foundation, UNDP Archipelagic and Island States, Forum, GIZ, MRT, BRI Ventures, and Think. And we also would like to thank our community partner, which is Create It, Kren, Zillion, Apiary, Bedo, Indostarter, and Top Career. So that was a bit of opening from me. And I would like to inform everyone to please don't forget to rename your name here in the Zoom. You can use a format to put your name first, and then you can add a dash your company and startup names, so we can know where you are coming from. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to invite our moderator today that will help us navigate through the session. We will invite Mrs. Marlene R. Siahaan. And Mrs. Marlene is an experienced leader in media and telecom with specific skills on sales, marketing, as well as business development practitioner. And she has 22 years of wonderful experience working in the field with an excellent track record across various industries, ranging from broadcast stations, telecom, and internet companies. And later on, she joined Google Indonesia in January 2018 and has now been appointed as the new country manager for Waus Indonesia, the updated navigation technology. So please everyone, welcome our moderator, Mrs. Marlene Siahaan. Hi, Mrs. Marlene, welcome.
Hello, good afternoon. Hi, everyone. Nice to see you. Nice to meet you virtually here. Yes, I would like to see everyone on the screen now. Welcome to InConnect, the second event, right? And I'm so proud to be here with you. Good afternoon again, and welcome to InConnect 2.0, presented by Kumpul. So as mentioned, my name is Marlene R. Siahaan. I'm actually the founder of Waus Indonesia country managers as part of Google Products. And I'll be moderating for today's event. Very exciting. And I think the reason why I interested to join this event and moderating this kind of unique topics, because I've been coming from the technology industry, which is navigation, telco, and everything. But sustainability is something that is really different kind of industry, but it's potential. It's really potential, and it's really like the futures of people's life, right? So I'm so happy to meet all of you, and knowing that Indonesia is an archipelago country with like a lot of happening, and it makes us having a lot of sources for a new renewable energy like solar, wind, and geothermal. It has the potential to produce almost 788,000 megawatts power from renewable sources, which is more than 14 times the country current power utilizations, according to Indonesian's government plans to increase the shares of renewable in its energy source to become 23% in 2025. Wow, right? And it's in line with the commitment to decrease greenhouse emissions by 29% in 2030. And according to Indonesia Intelligence Unit in 2018, it says that food sustainability index in Indonesia is at the rank of 53% out of 65 countries in the food loss and waste. In terms of end user waste, Indonesia, it also said that Indonesia produced 6 kilogram food waste per person per year. So a lot of data here on me, and you may know, you may Google as well, right? And all of the case is a wake-up call. Like it said, there is one data saying from earth.org. It said that Indonesia at the rank of 151st in the Global Sustainability Index. Sounds ambitious, right? But yeah, I think everyone's now aware and everyone wants to be part of the wants to prepare the futures of Indonesia by creating more efficient solutions and supporting sustainability in the good way, right? In the very promising way. Everyone agree with me? What do you think, guys? Yeah.
You guys can definitely be active and put any of your thoughts and insight on the chat box. But again, thank you so much, Mbak Marlene, for a very extensive opening.
Yeah.
So I will hand over the stage to you. So good luck, and I hope you guys can get a lot of insight from this session. So go ahead, Mbak Marlene.
Okay, so thank you for leading the team, Rihanna. Sorry. Okay, we are going to continue, and we're going to have a panel discussions with 3 incredible speakers here, guys, and then which we will discuss specifically, like I mentioned before, how we can achieve a sustainable futures for Indonesia through urban solutions, sustainability, and energy startups. So we have also a lot of startup audience here. So after the discussions, it will be followed with Q&A sessions. So if you are having a questions, you may write down in the beginning, and then you can drop, or you can also drop it in the chat box, so we can help you to deliver the questions at the Q&A sessions. Sounds agree, guys? Okay, let's start up. Let's start. I would like to call all of the speakers here. I have 3 speakers, like I mentioned. I'd like to invite the first speakers, which is, the first one is Mr. Ariana Sumanto, as the head of communications and public informations from Indonesian Ministry of Energy and Mineral Resources, Kementerian ESDM. Well, welcome, Mr. Ariana.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, Mr. Ariana.
Nice to be here.
Yes, nice to meet you too, Mr. Ariana. Mr. Ariana has an experience in energy planning and energy analysis since 2005, with petroleum engineering as his education's background. He was the leaders of technical team that established National Energy Planning of Indonesia in 2015. And Mr. Ariana has competency as energy analyst during its role in 2005 to 2016 as official in planning bureau that prepare daily energy substance for the Minister of Energy and Mineral. Now, as the head of communications and public information, his competency as energy analyst strongly support his role. Please welcome Mr. Ariana. Give applause, guys. Yes, and the second speaker, we would like to invite Mr. Ronnie Paramaditya. He's here with us now. Hi, Mr. Ronnie.
Hello.
Yes, Mr. Ronnie is the head of Medco Foundations, or the managing director of Medco. So Medco Foundation has interest in social development in Indonesia through educational, social economy, and environmental programs. And Mr. Ronnie has been working in Medco Foundations for more than 10 years. He is frequently assigned to manage projects which goals are to effectively develop areas communities in Indonesia in accordance with local tribal wisdoms. Selamat datang, Mr. Ronnie. Nice to meet you.
Good afternoon, everyone. Nice to meet you all.
Yes. And the last but not least is the special guest, I think, Mr. Frank Stegmuller. As the lead private sectors and technology corporations, 1,000 Islands, renewable energy for electrifications programs from GIZ. Wow, Mr. Frank Muller, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Happy to meet everyone. Very nice to be here, Malin. Looking forward to the discussion.
Thank you for joining us. So everyone, Mr. Frank is a Master's of Engineering from the Europe University of Flensburg, and in 2010 continued working as an expert in the utility energy management department for business development under the Germany energy transitions. Moreover, since 2016 in Indonesia, he is supporting the GIZ supported energy program in Jakarta as the lead private sectors and technology corporations 1,000 Islands renewable energy for electrifications programs. So GIZ together with its partners strives to unlock innovations, potentials tailored for Indonesia's islands economies and foster the ecosystems for young entrepreneurs in the fields of renewable energy. So to all panelists, please welcome and please unmute yourself so we can talk and then we can have a discussions for that, okay? So I might have to invite each of the speaker that I mentioned to maybe further introduce and also share your perspective regarding the topic that we have today with all of the people here. So I would like to invite first for Mr. Ariana to speak with us. Please welcome, Mr. Ariana.
Okay, do you have a question first for us, or we can just give some statements?
I think you can share a little bit about your current what is you're doing with your current role, and then what is your perspective regarding the renewable energy with Indonesia as well.
Okay, actually, again, my name is Ariana. Hello, all of you guys. Now I'm working in the unit of communication and cooperation. And in this unit, we are responsible to promote energy, especially renewable energy, to all of the people, like business sector or all of the citizen. That's our main role here, and we also try to make a cooperation with all of the institution in order to develop and promote the energy sector, especially in renewable energy. We are also make substance to analyze something that need to our leaders here in order to support the decision making in our ministry. I think that's the addition of the resume that you already led to us. Thank you.
Great. I think we go to the yes, Mr. Anything more?
Yeah, yeah. If you allow me to also answer all the question that you already give to us regarding the innovation, how they did the innovate the Indonesia.
Oh, okay. In that part, I would like to, Mr. Ariana, I think in that part, I would like to share the next questions to you. Okay, sounds okay?
Okay, it's okay.
So we
Okay,
may,
thank you. I'll give it back to you.
right. So we may go to the second one, Mr. Ronnie, to say your perspective regarding the renewable energy and sustainability in Indonesia,
Sure,
perhaps?
sure. Thank you, Marlene. Everyone, I have a few roles in Medco. As a head of Medco Foundation,
Yes.
I often deal with local stakeholders at the front of our operations. So I've dealt with a lot of bupati, a lot of startups that is very traditionally to enhance their way of living. But also as a director in Medco Group, I often face with challenges of investing in renewable energies, because right now, as you know, our one of our big siblings is the Medco Energy has recently entered the electric vehicles scene alongside with Hyundai, Grab, and Bank Mandiri, and I believe that renewables are the future of our energy producing areas, and I believe we should work together towards that end. And my perspective from business side, as long as the price is right, I think we all gonna working towards that era. I think that's my perspective. Thank you.
Sounds pragmatic.
Well, I try to.
Okay, the third one, Mr. Franks, your time, please.
Yeah, this sounds great. I think from my side, and I'm from Germany. From my perspective, I'm here since 4 years, and I'm very happy to be in Indonesia and to witness the current energy transition here. I think we have to understand that sustainability, sustainable development, and renewable energy mean opportunity. They are not to be seen as we don't have to be fearful or have a fear of missing out or losing something else. I think it's just a good new opportunity. It brings new jobs, it brings new investments, it brings new economic growth. And I think that's what we actually all want and what we normally all like to achieve. We have a certain chance now here in Indonesia. I think this is an energy transition, meaning we are moving from an older system to a newer system. Yeah, it's a transition, and this change always brings opportunity. And we are moving to an era where everyone can suddenly generate electricity and can participate in the energy transition. And just to give you an example, out of Germany, we are currently around 50% renewable energy in our electricity mix, and in 2013. 41% of all of our renewable energy investment came from civil society and farmers. So it was not anymore the big utility who made the move towards renewable energy, but it was the fighters for renewable energy in the civil society, the startups, the businesses, the farmers. And I think that's what we have to keep in mind. This is an opportunity that is now also here.
Great. So I think I am very interested to explore more on Mr. Franks, because you are coming from outside Indonesia, and then Germany is also paying attention of this industry in Indonesia. What is actually the how do you call it, what makes Germany choose Indonesia to be your destinations in terms of doing this kind of activity?
Now, I think, so just a bit on the background. So GIZ is basically an implementing organization. So we are supporting, for example, in this case, to implement the technical cooperation projects, which are decided by the government of Germany and by the government of Indonesia. where they decide to cooperate in different fields, for example, in the field of renewable energy and energy transition, where we then help and support, for example, Ariana and the Indonesian Energy Ministry, yeah, on the technical tasks that are involved in the energy transition, and support where we can support PLN and our partners here, and EBRKE and ESDM. I think for Indonesia, what is special is that you are really blessed with a lot of potential and renewable energy sources. I think, Bu Malin, you mentioned it in the beginning, how big the potential is here. If we compare, Germany has the similar solar irradiance as Alaska, which is very, very cold. And as we all know, and Indonesia has 3 times the solar irradiation on every square meter of land than Germany has. So we can make much more out of it. And I think that's also one of the reasons why Germany is happy to support. There's a big potential ahead that we can achieve together. And I think we are now in a world where we don't work alone anymore, but we can collaborate and come together and achieve these goals together. Yeah.
Okay, makes sense.
I hope that answers your question.
Yeah. So okay, I think we would like to ask one questions, and each of you can share your thought one by one. My question will be it's general questions. How ready is Indonesia to explore and seize innovations in terms of building more environmentally sustainable startups? Because like Mr. Franks mentions, Indonesia is very potential, but how ready? Yeah, right. What is our readiness? Maybe you have some thoughts to share, guys. Maybe start from Mr. Ariana first.
Okay, thank you, Marlene. First, you're all right that we have around 400 gigawatts of renewable energy potential here, and we only utilize only 2.5%. So there are a lot of opportunity, like Frank said, in Indonesia, of course. Actually, in terms of startup, we are still in the phase of developing environmentally sustainable startup, especially those in energy sector. Ministry of Energy, our minister, is often organized innovation challenge, especially in renewable energy. Again, innovation challenge. The challenge is open to university students and young entrepreneurs with innovation that have not entered the commercial phase. I mean the project. Not just startup challenge. Our ministry routine to mentoring the selected startup. The mentoring may be about technical issue, business model, commercialization, training, and small scale of project finance scale, but on the small scale of financing. And our ministry also, with our research and development unit, plus training and education unit, also assist those of the startup. Actually, the assistance is provided not only by the ministry, I mean, but in Indonesia, like state-owned enterprises and private company like Medco and the public sector, all through special program or CSR, even give maybe financing in much larger scale. We usually collaborate to support startup innovation, and not only the private sector, but some international funding like GIZ, UNDP, and others also give support to our country to build this environmentally sustainable startup. That's all for me.
Okay, so it seems like promising ya Pak ya. Well,
yeah.
Maybe we want to move to the next Pak Roni mungkin.
Right. Okay. So when we speak about environmentally sustainable startups, there's a broad spectrum of it, from energy to food producing to waste management. I believe that Indonesia is a huge archipelago. We have operations in Block A in Aceh. We also have in Block B in Natuna, south in South China Sea. And also we have operations in Merauke in Papua. Each have potentials, I believe, towards environmentally sustainable ideas or startups. So I believe, yes, we the people are ready, especially the young generations. I've seen in so many cases that people come up with great ideas and great proposals. I myself couldn't believe it when we held an innovation award. There's almost 192 papers on subsurface alone. So that means towards we in Medco Energy are famous for our cost leading factors, and there's a lot of innovations coming up from just internal Medco itself. And when we talk about other startups from food productions or waste management, when we talk to universities in so many levels, whether it's on the higher level on the research levels, there are potentials that we can build upon it. One thing that we might note in here is that fund matching. I believe that fund matching is one of the crucial part when we want to develop. As an investors, we don't want to invest in the lab scale ideas. We want to have a real product, at least an MVP. But when it comes to educating these new startups to believe in their product, to stay true in their product, and to dig in at the innovations of their own product, it is something that we need to work together. I cannot educate them myself. We need the government sector towards it. We need the civil society also. And as Pa Ariana and Pa Frank said, mentioned previously, the potentials are there, but we just need to work towards it. And I believe key roles in having the Indonesia ready towards environmental sustainable startups.
Great.
Thank you.
So the key is we need to work together, right?
Yeah.
Across all of stakeholders, right? From government and also the player, like the startup player as well.
Yes.
And what is your thought on this, Mr. Frank?
Yeah, I think what you just said, Indonesia is very creative and Indonesia moves fast. And I think many people here have an entrepreneurial attitude. And startups are very successful already and do already influence how we make business here, right? If we look at the very big unicorns or petacorns, the big platforms. In terms of startups and renewable energy, I think Indonesia is very much ready, but maybe still at an early stage. What will help here, in my opinion, is to not think about the big infrastructure solutions, but maybe innovation based on local contexts. What I mean by this, I think we have to understand the critical advantage of renewable energy technologies, for example. They are scalable. So they have similar specific costs if we build big or small. They can generate energy almost everywhere, meaning that we can take advantage of local potentials. And we can, but we don't have to build big old power plants anymore and pull cables all over the country. We can generate energy locally to drive our local economies. And I think local in Indonesia is a very big word because with the 17,000 islands, that is very big. And in terms of that, I think that Indonesia can become the best globally also in this decentral power generation because of this geography and the big potential. What we need for that, I think, is grassroots innovation. We need new ideas that grow bottom up. We need rapid prototyping, forward failures, and I think we can recognize that small is beautiful. And I think this is what ecosystems need to support. And it will be probably a lot of work, but I think this is what will lead Indonesia to a globally leading position. And yeah, I can only think of the creativity in this country, which is great. Just recognize the sun as your biggest energy source, and it's your recipe to win, I think.
Yeah, but every one of you is saying that it's very potential and managing renewable energy with the sustainable startup is something that we need to work on it, because it's scalable, right? And it's also have to be localized with our local potential opportunity. But what is actually the we need to do to be able to address the country core environmental challenge? I mean, okay, there is opportunity here. There is uh, like Indonesia. It says that Indonesia is having a very good demography. It's we call it bonus demography, right? And a lot of creative startup is ready now. It's starting, and then you said that Indonesia people is also creative and everything. But what do we need to address the country core environmental challenge actually to make everything can be possible to build as a great ecosystem and environmental sustainable? What do you think, Mr. Ariana? Maybe the first one to answer.
Okay, actually, before talking about the challenge first, to mitigate the environmental challenge, first we must realize one thing. Like me, Ariana, and Mr. Frank, and also Mr. Ronnie, we are all not just we are not just Indonesian citizen. Mr. Frank maybe not only a German citizen, but in this global era, we actually are the global citizens.
Right.
Being the global citizens, we must always be aware of 17 Sustainable Development Goals, or SDGs. You already aware that in the SDGs, energy as goal number 7, actually not only energy, but it said that affordable and clean energy. The mean of clean energy is also important. It related to the environmental challenge, I guess. So to address the environmental challenge, actually we Indonesia is committed to low carbon emission agenda by ratifying the Paris Agreement into national law. We already do that. And our commitment includes reducing greenhouse gas emission by 29% in 2030 at the minimum, of course. Actually, this is the key point. In energy sector, our climate action is to reduce the greenhouse gas emission by doing the transition program, renewable energy development, clean power plant, fuel switching, and energy conservation. Actually, the short answer is developing renewable energy massively, but not only the government, like Frank said. Actually, the small is beautiful is very interesting. The local citizen must play a big role to also develop the renewable energy. But the challenge, I mean, as you might be all aware that different in Indonesia and the German, maybe the renewable energy, we all already know that expensive compared to fossil fuels, of course. Even some fossil fuels are still subsidized here in Indonesia. That's why renewable energy incentives are needed here in our country. The other challenge that electricity grids are not completely ready to absorb the electricity from renewable energy because the intermittent issue. And the most important thing, the uniqueness of Indonesia compared to other countries, that the geography with more than 17,000 islands actually has become another challenge for energy supply. Generally, renewable energy source location far from demand location. That's our challenge, but it's not if we think that is not only a problem but a challenge, I think by approach that Frank just said, but to to develop renewable energy by local citizen, that's a very nice idea. Then we also do that by preparing fund from state government. I think that's my opinion.
Okay, Pak. So the the thing that we need to explore now is actually also to how about, I mean, how about the people itself, like Indonesian people itself. Do you think that we need to regulate something within that as well, rather than like seeing at the locations as a challenge, or maybe the cost and everything? How about the attitude or the awareness of the people in facing the environmental sustainable kind of thing? Are they
Uh,
also already aware? And what do you think?
Actually, if the price goes down, the people
Mhm.
will automatically aware of this renewable energy. But now the situation is not like that. So it is our job to make awareness of the people that we have to be more innovative, more creative, and find another way to make the renewable energy price attractive. But we can also try to get the funding not only from its business itself, but from the other country like maybe GIZ, UNDP, they all, and the other countries or institution. The interest also want to make our world a better place with maybe in here in Indonesia. So that's why we have to we have to ask or all of people, we have to make a great promotion for other people to more aware about this issue. I guess
Okay,
I think this is for me.
right. And next, Mr. Ronnie.
Okay. Um, okay. When it comes to market, yeah. Um, I think one of the challenges that we're facing, yes, Ariana mentioned it, it's the pricing. We have the sustainable biomass power producing plant in Merauke in Papua. That's
Yeah.
one of the first. We have a very good price from PLN. Fortunately or unfortunately, they are the only buyer of electricity in Indonesia. Um, so um, so every now and then we hope that the subsidy for renewable power plant is more attractive uh, for us. But um, when we look at current usage of energy, there's a lot of form of energy, right? There's oil and gas ones, and there's electricity ones. The demand for oil and gas for the next few years would be the same. We look at wood a study from Wood Mackenzie's. They've studied our oil and gas demand for the next 15 years. It's slightly increasing with current pace of technology. So one of the core challenges for us Indonesians to apply renewables is to convert the demand for oil and gas into the demand of electricity. So we need more conversions into electricity, whether it's electric vehicles or electric transportations or electric fabrications, perhaps. But one of the challenges is in order for businesses to convert the existing technologies, we also need a good credits. and that's why I said in the beginning, when the price is right and when there's a funding that is actually matching our need. For example, we have a vessel maker in Cilegon that is currently run on diesel fuel. We can easily convert that into the electrical power ones, but we need credits for that. We need leverage. We cannot simply change the machines in one night. It takes us at least 5 to 6 years to complete the stages of the current investment and then begin with the new ones. When we need to convert that, when we need to keep up with the recent technology, we also need leverage, perhaps tax incentive from the government, or better credit from the banks. That is something that we need today.
Overcome the challenge, right?
Yes.
Wow. Seems like Mr. Ronnie comes up with a lot of solutions with all of the challenge that we face. Well, I think we faced the opportunity in the beginning, and then we discussed about the challenge, and we mentioned a lot of challenge that we face now within the industry. And I think comes up with the next questions from my side, that how possible we can do like a collaborations between key players, then that can be explored to speed up the establishment of the sustainable ecosystems for these sectors. Like after you know the opportunity and you know the challenge, so how can we do collaborations after we know the challenge? What do you think, Mr. Franks? Maybe can help to answer.
Yeah, that's a very difficult question to answer. So I think every part has to play their role. I think the part of, for example, politics is to set the wide scope, set the mission for the country, yeah, for the next 10, 15 years. Where do we want to go? And I think for Indonesia, it's very clear. We have set goals. There's the 23% target by 2025 that we want to achieve. And then, of course, it needs the market framework underneath it, so that, like Paroni just said, so that the projects can get financed, so that there are incentives for these new technologies. And then I guess we need to create a level playing field, yeah, in the energy sectors. I mean, globally, in every country, we are in a global energy transition. So that, yeah, the new technologies can come in and have the same conditions as conventional energy technologies, and can find investments. And I think for this side of things, for example, where Kumpul is very good in is to connect the ecosystems. And then we need private sector. We cannot implement these projects, cannot all be implemented by PLN, for example, in the energy transition, but we need new players. We need the help of private sector like Medco to make these projects, but we can also use the help of startups to develop new creative ideas, social businesses based on local context, which can all really be very unique in their approach, and can be very much grassroots in their, solving very local problems with new technologies and new ideas and new innovations. So I think if all of this comes together, then this is what we can achieve. And the bigger framework is opening up for this. The sustainable development goals globally, which encompasses all the different topics of waste, marine litter, energy, all the things that we're discussing now. This is the direction. We have to recognize it, and we can start moving in that direction. So
wow, yeah, I think I agree, especially when you mentioned that we need technology, right? We need technology to be part of the tools for the collaborations, especially with all the resource that we have, and how can startups can be possible to access and improve their knowledge about the sectors to connect between the dots, right? So I think, yes, Mr. Ronnie.
Yeah, may I add what Frank just said just now?
Right.
And listening to Pak Ariana previously mentioned that we the producer also need to be heavily subsidized as well. But when it comes to local producing energies, actually most of the startup do not need to have their own heavily subsidized incentive. For example, we have a project in Eastern Java that is producing electricity out of cow's waste. And this electricity is being used by a dairy producing company. So the waste from the cow is being used to generate electricity for the milk producing. So the electricity is self-consumed. And I believe that if you create such model, the circular economic model in islandish area, for example, Bali, Lombok, or Nusa Tenggara, that can also support local producers, whether you're farming, whether you're ranching. But if the fuel are made from your own islands, you're eliminating logistical nightmare. You're eliminating dependable from the government projects, for example. So you start producing what you can have. That's why I'm also interested in eastern part of Indonesia, because most of them are islands and isolated. From waste to energy, even recycling programs are also one of the greatest startups. We face a lot of problems in our coastal areas. There is a lot of plastics, etc. And that's free energy if you can, if you find the technology to harvest it. And yes, that's one of my suggestion on how we can contribute each other's towards environmental sustainable startups or energy producing.
Great, I agree. I mean, in eastern part of Indonesia is actually something that we need to explore more, right? And we have a lot of opportunity in there. Well, but I think we need to move forward to have next sessions, which is Q&A, question and answer from the audience that is very active in here. And then we would like to give also the time before we come to the Q&A questions. I think I would like to invite two of startups here with us that is going to share what is their doing to support the industry, and also what kind of challenge and everything is it connect with what we have discussed today. Let's listen from the players, guys. We would like to invite two players here. This is the new startup, which is Recosystem, and then Arane. So I would like to invite Ernest Liman from the Recosystem to share with us, and then after that, Elson Nugroho from Arane to share with us. And you can prepare your questions. After that, you can chat us, or you can directly address the questions. You can talk in Bahasa. If you would like to share your question in Bahasa, it's okay. Alright, silahkan dari Recosystem dulu, Ernest Liman.
Okay, yeah, hello, thank you, Panen, for the opportunity. Hello, everyone. Thank you for all the inspiring story from all the speakers. So yeah, my name is Ernest Liman. I'm the CEO from Recosystem. So basically, Recosystem, we are a waste management startup. So related about the sustainability, our journey starting from waste to energy method. So we convert the organic waste into the biogas and biofertilizer back then in 2018. But this is still like a small in a community level, not an industrial reactor. We installed it in one of university in Bandung. We installed it in one school in Jakarta, and also we installed it in the environmental department area in Jakarta to neighborhood committee lah, atau or RWRW usually it's called in Indonesia. So I think sustainability related is something interesting, and also the interest and the participation of the people contribute in this industry is also high. The challenge maybe, if I can share, is how we can balance between the sustainability and social impact, and also the economic impact. So ensure the triple bottom line in line during our initiatives. And then currently, to make it the more scalable in ecosystem itself, is we not only talk about the waste management for the organic, but currently also collaborate with the current local waste processor, specifically for the inorganic that back into the oil, and then also the residual waste that get through gasification and pyrolysis. But it's not built in-house currently for the other waste processor, but we collaborate with local partner and become a connector of the waste producer with the waste processor to establish the sustainable ecosystem. And then I think that's the sharing from us, and we are still at early stage and a lot of learning, and happy to learn more from the expertise from the speakers. Thank you. That's all the sharing from me about the ecosystem, our journey and challenge, and also maybe the opportunity in the sustainable related industry in startup.
Great. Applause to the ecosystem team. How long it's been the company has established?
So it's starting in 2018, but it's more on the R&D at that, back then. And we start full the operation starting February 2020. Currently, we are not only focused organic, like I mentioned, but we are become the connector from the waste producer, which is the users, and also the business or commercial area with the waste processor to energy or recycled material or recycled products.
Wow, okay, great. We go to the second, thank you for Ernest for sharing with us. And now let's listen to the second one, the Elson Nugroho from Arani.
Yeah, thank you so much for the opportunity. So, hello, I'm Elson. I'm the owner of Arani. So Arani is a fashion brand who produce ready-to-wear. We want to embrace the slow fashion movement through this sector. We use natural dyeing, and especially we use eco-printing for the focal point. So what is it? What is eco-printing? So actually, eco-printing is a new art fabric making, which we use like any part of plants, like stem, leaf, flower, and roots that extracted to the fiber of textile by using steaming process. So it's like a new process, but we want to embrace all the natural power into the new movement called by slow fashion movement. So actually, we run this business from 2017, and we are still going on there. Hopefully, through this pandemic, we can grow up, and through this opportunity as well, we want to make another relationship. So my point is, we didn't make a big step of sustainability. We just want to share. We want to open the window of sustainability through this sector. Like we want to, we want to introduce about slow fashion rather than fast fashion, as we know, like multinational brand company which produce a huge scale of fashion production. It's make a damage for our Mother Earth. So that's why this sustainable process, like what we did, hopefully it can bring any solution for our Mother Earth. So that's all from Arane. I hope we can together save our planet. So thank you so much.
Okay, great. Thank you for Ecosystem and Arane to share with us. It seems like, in my mind, I don't know, maybe I was wrong, but you guys doing a waste management and also eco-friendly fashions in a very, how do you call it, traditional manners. Are you guys involving technology on this, or is there anything that we can explore more regarding like how can we balance between managing the sustainable business, but also utilizing technology on that. What do you think, guys?
Maybe me as from Arane, we still use a very traditional because the core of the value here is a slow fashion, which means we use a lot of hands, we use a lot of time to make every single pieces because we respect to the what is it, to the process through our production. Sometimes I concern about carbon footprint, so that's why we keep on traditional method. But we actually it's a huge challenge for us to make it to be what is it like a more a huge scale for our business, because if we want to grow up, we need technology to help us.
Yeah, I think. And what about ecosystem? Ernest, do you have any thoughts?
Okay. Sorry, can you come again with the question? Is this the same question with the other?
Yeah, the utilize of technology on your business, perhaps.
I think for our side, this is more on the waste data mapping and recording. Usually, people produce waste, and we don't know how much is it, and what kind of type, or what type is it, and also how to treat each type of waste. So since we are a connector between the waste producer currently with the waste recycler that produce renewable energy, recycled material, or eco building material, we can trace every waste that already through our process. For example, let's say from the beginning, we create like a simple station in our public spaces that can track type of waste that drop into the box, in our drops station. On top of that, we provide the classification of the waste pickup from our partner in the public spaces or the building management. That every waste that pick it up from their places is already classified. Oh, this is from building A, building C, building D. When go into our places, we track every data, every waste that captured in our station. So our picker and our segregator is collected with the dashboard that can easily input all the type of the waste. And then specific for the bottle packaging, we currently develop the machine learning that can digitize and recognize type of the waste that already collected. So this is how we leverage the technology to capture and tracing the waste data. After that, we do matchmaking into the current our waste processor, starting only with the biodigester that we learned, and then currently with the other waste recycler and processor that already become our partner.
Okay, sounds great. All right, I think it's about asking the audience, the panelists, to raise the questions to our speakers here. Anyone would like to raise the questions? Your time, guys. Mr. You may address the questions directly to the three speakers here. Ada yang mau bertanya mungkin kepada para speakers kita di sini, mungkin dari para audiens yang hadir di sini. Kita punya waktu sekitar 5 sampai 7 menit lagi untuk menyelesaikan panel discussion kita pada kesempatan ini. Jadi mumpung ada waktu, mumpung bisa bertanya kepada 3 orang yang sangat-sangat perlu kita explore. Yes.
Waus Energy.
Yes, please. Waus Energy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. My name is Chris Longdong from Waus Energy. Basically, Waus Energy, we turning the waste cooking oil and plastic waste into biosynthetic fuel. So that's for it's not about biodiesel or something like a synthetic fuel, but we are biosynthetic fuel. It means renewable energy, not only about solar cell, biogas, or something like that, but it's new kind of new renewable energy that have so many raw materials. I want to asking to Mr. Ariana, what about a new technology like biosynthetic fuel that we can make electricity just like another renewable energy. Of course, we not get into the list of the renewable energy. Of course, we're not yet into that the renewable energy, but we want to tell there's another search about renewable energy that say it's biosynthetic fuel. What about the program for us to speak up about our renewable energy? Thank you.
Oke, thank you. Mungkin dijawab dulu kali ya. Oke, sambil yang lainnya mungkin you can chat also while answering. Silakan, Mr. Ariana tadi, Pak Ariana.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Chris, for the question. Actually, I'm not the bioscientific guys, but let me tell you, but can I invite you to our ministry so you can talk directly to our research and development unit? So maybe you can explore more about information, innovation about the biosynthetic, biosynthetic, yeah, biosynthetic fuel.
Yes, yes, of course.
We can arrange time to meet our research and development unit.
Yes, of course.
In this moment, I also want to invite maybe the ecosystem or the other one is Arane. I think you guys already have you guys also already have great projects. So this is the time for us to facilitate, or maybe you can help us to copy paste the similar project, so we can create employment to other young people to do the same thing like you've already done. I think that's a good idea. So we can also facilitate in our cooperation unit as well. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Hello. Okay, anyone can hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay, sorry, it's internet. Okay, so the next question. Anyone? Ada yang mau bertanya lagi mungkin? Oke, ada yang bertanya di chat box dari Sebastian Samuel. Good evening, I'm Samuel. I would like to ask to each speaker, where do you see in the next 5 to 10 years for Indonesia in this sustainability, energy startup, and urban solutions? That's it. Thank you. Who would like to answer first? Pak Roni mungkin atau?
Okay, I can try to answer this.
Yeah.
I've seen the study and I've seen the numbers and figures on this agenda here. When it comes to energy, I believe if Indonesian reception towards new technologies at the current pace, for the next 5 to 10 years, it will be exactly the same as today. The cars and the motorcycle majority will be gasoline driven. Some might be converted into electrical vehicles, but not all. Aeroplanes are still using gasoline. And coal would be there because the price is so cheap. So unless we do something about it to convert ourselves into renewables, businesses would still use the cheaper resources. Coal is still the cheapest. Yes, correct. Solar panels is also having a price reducing, but it's not here. It's in China. In Indonesia, coal is still winning, but you know the environmental impact of it. So yes, it comes to us as a consumers. Where are we going from this? I think that's my key takeaway.
All right, one more, maybe from Mr. Frank.
Yeah, thank you very much. This is very nice question. I like this. And it was also, I have to say, what Paroni said is, of course, we also have to consider this. Yeah, there is still a strong interest in this industry in Indonesia. Nevertheless, I think we are in a time where we have to learn. If we look at time frame now, 3 to 5 years, as Paroni said, is still short to medium term. But if we look at frameworks of 10 years, in the current time we're in, things are developing very fast, and we often don't have a linear growth anymore, but we have an exponential growth. If we look at Moore's law, where, for example, we can see that the number of transistors on a microchip doubles every 2 years, where we have cloud computing, which much bigger access to computing power. The cost for key technologies like solar PV, for example, came down 70 to 80% since 2010. So a lot of things are developing on an exponential scale, not on a linear scale. So things will move fast. I think the answer is growth. Look at your neighbor country, Vietnam, also an ASEAN member state. Vietnam has installed 9.3 gigawatts of solar PV by the end of 2020. This grew more than 8 times in a single year. This can go very fast. Now, someone also made these installations in Vietnam and earned money, which paid taxes, which grew the economy. So let's do this the same here. Indonesia perhaps has a few 100 megawatts installed of solar PV right now. This can grow easily by 10 times within 2 years if the frameworks are growing this and are supporting this. As soon as we unlock this potential, it will grow very fast. We've made a study, for example, very short now, that the realization of the 23% renewable energy target by 2025 in Indonesia will build up 110,000 new jobs, full-time jobs, new jobs from the field of solar energy, bioenergy, and wind alone. Not looking at hydro and geothermal power, which also have great potential. So there's, again, a big opportunity ahead.
Yes. All right. Okay, I think we are at the end of our sessions right now, guys. Oh, thank you so much for the participations. I think to sum up of our discussions today, well, Indonesia is very promising in the industry of a lot of like food, energy, waste, education, health perspective. We also have the challenge to overcome, such as pricing, like you mentioned, any kind of regulation that we need to keep updates. But we also have solutions to keep going and utilizing what we have, like local assets or utilizing technology, electric power, cloud technology that Mr. Prang just mentioned. So I think we can see what we have, and then we can hope that it can solve the challenge to keep moving. So Indonesia can be keep, having a very great opportunity in the futures and utilizing sustainable sustainable environmental as well, right? So thank you so much. I think before we finish our sessions, I would like to say thank you to all of the speakers. Thank you for your presence and also for your idea, your perspective, and also your energy to share with us. And all of the participants here, you've been very enthusiastic to enjoy and also very passionate in the industry. It's very inspiring to see all of here. We and Marlene Siahan here would like to say thank you, and would like to share my screen to the MC, Mbak Riani, ya?
Yes, thank you so much.
Okay.
So that was the panelist session. Again, thank you so much, Mbak Marlene, for leading the great session. Also, thank you so much for Pak Roni, Mas Ariana, as well as Frank. Please stay tuned because after this, we will have a mini photo group session. And for everyone here, you can also kind of prepare to get ready for the photo session. But with that being said, that was the panelist session. I hope it was insightful for you. So I will have the organizer to share the feedback form, which I would like to ask for any of the feedback from everyone here. So Kumpul can provide a better learning experience for everyone's here. So we will see the feedback form right after this. Yes, it's on the screen, so feel free to type the link. It's bit.ly/inconnect2, or you can definitely scan the barcode as well. So I'm gonna give some time for you guys to fill out the feedback form, which is gonna be very valuable for Kumpul to provide a great learning experience for you guys. So while we are at that, I'm just gonna give a bit of information for you here, which I assume you guys are startup founders or startup enthusiasts. So we have another upcoming program for Kumpul as well as Medco here with Pak Roni, and also from ICE or Archipelagic and Island States from UNDP. So from Kumpul, we have upcoming program on Kartini's Day, 21st April. We have a national conference of Women Create. So this is one of the closing series from Women Create, where we invite Indonesia women leaders to share their insights as well as experiences to inspire another female founders and entrepreneurs. So we get the information on the screen. So that was the upcoming program for Kumpul. So if you are interested in women issues, please join us at the program. You can definitely register yourself in the form as shown in the slide as well. And we also have another upcoming program from UNDP for Archipelagic and Island States Forum. So we have two information here. The first one is the upcoming 2021 ICE Innovation Challenge, which is a competition for startup across archipelagic and island countries, which is Indonesia is one of them, to develop their ideas and win a chance to receive a special prize as well as incubation program. So please definitely check them out if that sounds interesting for you. And the second one is this Ending Plastic Pollution Innovation Challenge. So it's from ICE Forum together with the partners National Coordinating Team for Marine Debris Handling Secretariat UNDP Indonesia, which recently launched the Ending Plastic Pollution Innovation Challenge, or APIC with double P. So it's APIC competition phase. You can get the information about the two competition from UNDP through the ICE Forum website, which is www.iceforum.org/opportunity. And then the last one from Medco. Medco is having a national startup showcase which will launch on May 7th. So it's next month. So you can definitely stay tuned on Kumpul Instagram. It's @kumpulko. We will give you more information on Medco National Startup Showcase there. So please feel free to follow Kumpul Instagram. So that's all the information that I can give you. Hopefully you are already done with the feedback form. So as I mentioned, by the end of the session, we will invite everyone to turn on their camera so we can have a good photo session. So while you guys are preparing up, turning on your camera, As I mentioned in the beginning, we hope that this is not just a regular industry insight or inspiring session, which after this, we have curated 8 startups, which this 8 startup has the opportunity to have a good interaction with the key players in the ecosystem. So again, thank you very much for all the startup that apply, and also congratulations for Clean Up, Panen Abnormal, Ailesh Power, Waus Energy, Recosystem, Arena, Angkuts Indonesia, and Rubis Jewelry. Some of them you already met because they have appeared from the previous session. All these 8 startup will continue with the speed dating right after this session. So it's one of the things that we try to make in terms of building a good connection within all the ecosystem player. So with that being said, I hope everyone is already turning on their camera and ready to have photo group sessions. If you are still preparing, I'm just gonna give you another good 10 seconds. Just to make sure you are ready to turn on the camera and do the photo session. Okay, so I think that's everyone that can turn on the camera. So I guess organizer will help to screenshot. So I'm gonna help counting from 1 to 3, and you can have a great big smile on the screen. So I'm gonna help you count. So 1, 2, 3. Okay, so that was the formal smiling format. So I think we can go for a better, more interactive and expressive style. So we will have the last one with more expressive and fun. Okay guys, so I'm gonna start counting. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so again, thank you everyone. Thank you so much for being here. Again, thank you so much for the panelists, as well as Marlon as the moderator. And again, for everyone here, thank you so much for joining us today. So after this, for the 8 respective startups that I mentioned, please stay in the room so we can start the speed dating sessions. Which in the speed dating session we have 8 mentors which you are free to engage with. They are Mr. Ariana Sumanto from ESDM, one of the speakers that you have seen, as well as Pak Roni Pramaditya from Medco Foundation, and also Frank Stegmuller from GIS. And then we also have Pak Johannes De Brito from PT MRT Jakarta. We also have Anestia Pramana from BR Ventures. And then we also have Rilanti Camelia and Anggito Ardinansyah from Telkomsel. And then last but not least, we also have Verania Andrea as senior advisor from UNDP. So that are 8 mentors that you can connect with for the selected startup. So I think with that being said, we can close the session. So again, thank you everyone for attending. Hopefully it's a good, insightful session for everyone. So with that being said, I will hand over the session to Tom. So we can have the speed dating only for the 8 startups that have been curated and selected to have the speed dating in Connect to sustainability session. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much, Riani, for moderating today's event. Thank you so much buat semuanya. Thank you, Miss Marlin. Thank you, Mr. Roni. Thank you, Mr. Frank. Dan semuanya, thank you banget. Buat startup-startup lainnya, jangan keluar dulu. Habis ini kita bakal masuk ke breakout room masing-masing. Nanti kita langsung masuk dan nanti langsung ada juga para mentor yang nanti bakal siap buat ngisi sharing session bareng sama kalian. Oke, kita tunggu dulu. Nanti dari tim kumpul akan langsung ngebagiin ke breakout room masing-masing. Oke, kita tunggu semua ya.
See you guys.
Thank you so much, Mbak Marlin.
Bye. Thanks, speakers.
Teman-teman kembali lagi diingatkan buat 8 startup tadi yang masuk ke speed dating session jangan keluar dulu. Tapi buat teman-teman lainnya yang udah ikutan event ini, thank you banget buat joining this event. Teman-teman boleh keluar dari event ini. Nanti kita akan infokan untuk event selanjutnya. Sambil nunggu yang lain, mungkin nanti aku bakal sharing juga sedikit tentang speed dating session. Jadi rules yang pertama, jadi kalian setiap startup bakal punya 15 menit untuk satu durasi untuk ngobrol sama mentor. Nah, nanti beberapa startup ada yang punya lebih dari satu sesi, jadi ada 1 sampai 2 sesi. Tapi kalau per sesinya, per satu speaker, itu bakal punya durasi 15 menit. Jadi nanti teman-teman ngobrol aja, santai aja, casual talk saja. Kalian bisa ngobrol, kalau misalnya speakernya pakai bahasa Indonesia, mentornya pakai bahasa Indonesia, pakai bahasa nggak apa-apa. Tapi for those who use in English, like Mr. Frank, yeah, please using English language for conversation. Nanti bakal ada tim dari kumpul juga, yang kalau misalnya kalian bingung, nanti bisa langsung dijelasin atau bisa langsung ditranslate juga, kayak gitu. Oke, pelan-pelan nanti kita sambil tunggu ya.
Oke, Kak Tommy. Sudah, cuman dari Arane. Halo?
Halo.
Ya, halo.
Dari Arane ada?
Oke, sebentar ya. Dicek dulu.
Oke, udah 6. Sip.
Oke.
Oke. Oke, guys. Langsung ke breakout room ya. Setelah. Oke, bentar. Ting. Oke. Pak Ariana, Andrew bisa join. Tadi udah ada notif belum ya? Halo? Dari Ting juga udah bisa join. Dari Telkomsel. Main Ting. Main Ting. Halo? Silakan join. Dari Angkut, silakan. Halo Mas Sabda Angkut, bisa join ya Mas ke breakout room-nya sekarang? Sudah ditunggu. Mas Sabda, halo.